Tommy, what are we doing here?
You said we're doing a mowing video.
Mowing video.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Embrace Your Outdoor Space. My name's Tommy Cross. It's not mooing season, it is indeed mowing season, my favourite time of the year, but perhaps you are struggling to get the best out of your lawn. I thought it'd be an opportune time to have a look at our past videos to help you get the most out of your present lawn. So let's look back to our past videos.
Tommy, this way, mate. This way. What are you doing?
That's when you do that edit thing in the past videos.
No, we're all out of edit credits, mate. That'll cost too much extra.
Well, would it new? Brand spanker?
Yeah, just do it for real. What are you doing?
Just looking back at some of our hilarious previous videos. Oh.
It's next to nothing, there's a couple of superficial marks.
Video now.
Well, that's it.
That's worth a try. Now, I don't know about you, but I spend a lot of my time looking at lawns. There's nothing more eye-catching than a healthy, hearty, happy-looking lawn. It doesn't matter how pretty the perimeters are, the lawn is the body of the garden. And if your lawn is looking forlorn, or if it's failing quicker than my attempts at humour, then don't worry, we've got a few tips to help you get the most out of your lawn all year round. First up, weeding. Now, weeds come in all shapes and sizes, so let's start off with what I think is the biggest nemesis to a healthy, happy-looking lawn, and that is moss. Moss is a bit like a wolf in sheep's clothing, getting very happy hiding amongst the grass. Incredibly devastating to the health of your lawn, physically starving it of light, oxygen, stealing away nutrients, and creating dead patches of ground as it starts to develop and spread. It also traps in the moisture as well, making areas waterlogged. Now, you can kill moss chemically using off-the-shelf moss killers. These tend to have high iron content. As they get to work, you'll notice that the moss starts to turn black and then dies off. However, this does take some time. Personally, I don't think you can beat using a scarifier and dethatcher. That way you know you've removed the moss, you can physically see it being collected, creating space for healthy lawn to grow. Now, when it comes to moss, it's very much a sinister surface level threat. We might have to dig a bit deeper to get rid of the next nemesis. As satisfying as this is, every one of these parachutes is playing host to a seed which has the scope to then germinate. And that little seed can fast become a weed. So how do we get rid of them? The easiest options, don't blow daffodils.
Dandelion.
Oh yeah. Weeds, again, left unchecked, will soon start thriving, especially deep-rooted weeds like dandelions. And if you've ever tried to remove a single dandelion, you will know just how deep and stubborn that arterial root system is. So, how do you get rid of weeds? Use an off-the-shelf weed killer, preferably a selective weed killer, and always make sure you read the label before you use it.
What's the flamethrower for, Tommy?
Thumbnail, clickbait. Got to stand out from the crowd somehow. So now we've made space for some grass to grow, we've got to fill those voids. And if you're an impatient gardener and you want to speed up the process, well, the next phase is to seed. And we've got a whole video dedicated to that entire topic. But if you don't want to watch even more of me, to be honest, I don't blame you. Here is that same process in a few simple steps. Tickle your terrain. You've got to break that surface tension of the soil before you apply your seed. So use a garden or a springtime rake, rough up the surface in order so it catches those seeds and encases it with loose material. And before you seed, it's worth choosing the right seed for your lawn. If you want to be the envy of the neighborhood with a regal, rich-looking lawn, then look for a blend of high fescues. Fescue grass is a much finer, thinner strand of grass, which will give you a wonderful ornamental tapestry in your garden. But if it's longevity in your lawn that you're looking for, maybe you've got pets, young children, or your lawn is just your space with so many activities, then look for a higher blend of ryegrass. Rye is a thicker, tougher strand of grass which will withstand being stood on and put up with a pounding.
Oh, it's so strong. So strong.
Oh, damn you, ryegrass! When it comes to sowing your seed, less is actually more. Check the ratios on the back of your bag or box to make sure that you don't overseed. Overseeding can be a detriment to the success of your germination. And talking of germination, what's the one thing that plants and your lawn needs to germinate and thrive?
Love. Love.
What an idiot. Water is the lifeblood of any plant, and saturating your seed is going to kickstart that germination process. And make sure it's not just a one and done. Water routinely to encourage root development and new growth. Don't be tempted to walk over that surface as you do so until your lawn has established completely. Don't be tempted to overwater. We don't want to wash the seed away, nor do we want it to rot. If you can water early in the morning, the plant has time to recruit that moisture before the heat of the day evaporates it. Same goes for in the evening. And personally, I just find it a really peaceful pastime at the end of a tough day. So we've weeded, we've seeded. Now it's time to feed it.
Feed, right? Feed.
Feed.
What's the leaf blower for?
The transition.
What transition?
Now, very much like you and I, if we're feeling a bit peaky, we start going off color, start going a little bit gray, a little bit yellow, and your lawn will do very much the same thing if it's not being sustained properly. We can only go so far and sustain ourselves so long on water alone. At some point we need to eat, we need to consume, and your root system of your lawn needs to do exactly that. So we need to feed it. And for that, I've recruited a friend of mine. Now, there's two times to feed. One, surface. Sprinkle over the granules over your lawn and wait for the weather to do its work. It's a little bit slow for my liking, so I like a soluble feed. Things I'm looking for: nitrogen, in; potassium, in; phosphates, in. And that's gonna give you that lovely green color. Look at that. Happy at the root system, happy looking lawn. Done. Now, back to Tommy. Now, with all the weeding, seeding, feeding completed, it's time to mow and maintain your lawn to get it looking great all year long. And the more you mow and maintain your lawn, the healthier the grass will be because it promotes new growth. Greenworks know gardens and they know how to help you look after your lawn, no matter what the size of the garden or the size of your budget. And in order to get a clean, cordless cut, every single lawnmower in the Greenworks range features the same two key components to help you look after your lawn and get a cut above. Every Greenworks lawnmower comes equipped with a steel cutting blade for a clean, crisp cut. And perhaps the most important component on your lawnmower, the single lever height adjustment. So satisfying, but why is it so important? Well, it allows you to take control of the length of your lawn. If you're like me, you might want it quite thick and lush. So I cut around about 3 to 4 centimeters. That way I know it's going to look fantastically lush all year round, but it's also going to withstand the use and abuse of me and the kids playing out in the garden all summer long. But if you've got an ornamental level lawn and you want a really crisp, neat finish, cutting on that lowest setting is going to give you that crew cut, bowling green finish. But here's my caveat: only do that if you've got a lovely level lawn. And if you are going to make your first pass on the grass, don't be tempted to speed up the process by cutting on the lowest setting first. Drop down through the height increments. That way you're going to promote new growth, enhance the health of your lawn, and avoid doing devastating damage, especially to newly seeded areas of lawn. Now, hopefully this video has helped you get the most out of looking after your lawn this year and for years to come. But perhaps mowing's a bit of a misery for you, or indeed it's a proverbial pain in the grass. Or maybe it's because your mower's not up to scratch. And if you're looking to embrace cordless cutting convenience and a brand built on battery benefits, then don't forget you can always check out the link at the end of the video. I've got to mow, I've got to go.